G'day guys and welcome to the NRL preliminary finals tips. I'm really excited. Obviously my team has been eliminated from the competition. I want to put out a review based on the game as I do think that there were some unfair calls, but for the most part I think that our attack unfortunately let us down. It was a very defensive game, fantastic game of football between the Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers. So look, I can understand that the trainer has been stood down, fined, different things have been happening. Referees picked up on some decisions. I'm not going to go there. A separate video may come out, it may not. That's all I'm going to say on that situation. But we've got some fantastic game to decide next week's NRL Grand Final. We're here. The end of the rugby league season is among us. Now, I just want to show you guys, this is the Parramatta Pledge t-shirt. I just want to give a big shout out to the club. This shirt is made out of the names of fans who pledged their membership to the club. It's got a little para forever up the top there. So I really like this design. I just thought I'd show you guys, and that is the back of the shirt. But guys, the Manly Seagulls defeated the Roosters last week. They move into a prelim against the Bunnies, and then you got the Penrith Panthers defeating the Eels 8 points to 6. Very controversial game, and they will play the Melbourne Storm. Both teams, the Rabbitohs and the Storm, have had a week off. Who am I going to tip for the grand final? Well, let's find out.
Subscribe to Entertainer.
First game on Friday night, we'll see the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are coming off a week rest. Now, the Rabbitohs, they've lost their last 3 preliminary finals straight against teams with the Roosters. Who else was there? With the Raiders, and last year was the Penrith Panthers. And they go into this one in a very different mindset. Now, Manly have been a very good attacking force all year. We saw the top 5, Tom Trbojevic, up there as a front runner for the Dally M. He hasn't played every game this season, but when he has played, he's been outstanding. He's had one of the best seasons of rugby league that I've watched in a long time. Very surprised to see Daly Cherry Evans, but I will make a separate video coming in the coming days about the Dally M, my predictions for the full positions as well as the Dally M itself, top 5 in order. So look, the Manly Sea Eagles, they come into this game as underdog, the Rabbitohs as favourites. The Rabbitohs look fresh, ready for a grand final appearance, more than likely against the Storm. That's why the Rabbitohs are favourites going into this one. You've got Cody Walker, who's been in supreme form all year. Adam Reynolds potentially playing his final game as a South Sydney Rabbitoh. And then their bench of Jai Arrow. He's moved into the back row, but I guess part of that bench. Keon Kolomatangi in the back row as well. So they've got lots of depth in their side. They're quite a built side, ready to battle against this Manly side. Their defense was very outstanding. Now, their defense has been their problem all year, and they've saved it for the best time, knocking off the Penrith Panthers 16 points to 10 just a few weeks ago in a very big upset. And no one expected this from the Bunnies. And here the Bunnies are. We expected them to be prelim grand finalists throughout the entire year. Now, I think that no team that's ever had 50 put on them has gone on to win the comp. It should happen. But if anyone's going to do it, it's the Rabbitohs. They're the team left that have had 50 put on them. We've seen how good they can be this year with their lethal attack. Alex Johnston, their star winger, getting the Ken Irvine medal once again with the most tries for the season in 2021. But Tom Trbojevic, most try for a fullback in NRL history. So it's a really even matchup. Both teams were $1.90 originally, but as I mentioned, Manly are underdogs. Manly have been a little bit inconsistent this year. They had that loss to the Storm. They rebounded against a very understrength Roosters side. They come up against a red-hot Rabbitohs side who this prelim thing is going to be in their head. It's really going to mess with their head. But I think it'll be 4 straight prelim losses. I'm going to tip Manly here. It's going to be very close. It's going to go down to the wire. It could come down once again to that boot of Ruben Garrick, who's been one of my favourite NRL players to watch in 2021. But I'm going to go the Sea Eagles to beat the Rabbitoh, and 4 straight prelim losses. It's just how it's meant to be for the Bunnies, unfortunately. I think the Bunnies come in as red-hot favourites for this one. A lot of people will be tipping the Bunnies, but I think that Manly on their day really can beat the Rabbitohs, and that's what I think they'll do this weekend. So I'm going to tip Manly by 4 points. I'm going to go with 22 points to 18. I think Schuster has been a little bit better as we go. I'm going to take him for first try scorer. I think he's around that $40 mark. So Josh Schuster to score the first try of the match, Manly to score first. I don't know what the set unders are. If it's around that 46, I'd probably lean towards the unders being a finals match. I've got that 40-ish points with 22 to 18. I'm going to go Manly to win 22 to 18. I just have a feeling that Manly are going to book a spot in the grand final. Whether they win it, that's a different story. But I think the season that Tom's had, and even the confidence that the players are building around him as a team, the Rabbitohs have looked fantastic all year. There's been some issues in defense. Can they keep it up? We'll wait and see. But I'm going to tip the Bunnies to lose by 4. And final game that gets us to the grand final, and we see the Sea Eagles, in my opinion, advance. Who are they going to play? Well, the Melbourne Storm have been fantastic all year, but so have the Penrith Panthers. All things aside from that game, they've had a fantastic season. They've had their injury clouds with Brian To'o, Nathan Cleary. Fisher Harris, I don't think was injury, but he was out of the side for a while. They've recruited really nicely as well with Tavita Pangai Jr. coming to the side. Kurt Capewell is going to farewell them soon, so this could be a farewell for their player there. Matt Burton, obviously off to the Bulldogs, so there's a lot of the Panthers to play for, especially last year losing a grand final. You got to lose one to win one, they say. So they're going to be right up for this game in their mindset. Nathan Cleary had a decent game. I thought Mitchell Moses edged him out a little bit personally over the weekend, but he did have a very good game. I think he kicked for about 31 or more odd meters in regards to the kicking meters, but both players, really outstanding game. It's going to be a great contest. I'm looking forward to it on Saturday night. Melbourne Storm with 18 or 19 wins, most in the NRL's history, tied with the Roosters now. They weren't able to beat the Parramatta Eels, ended that streak back then. They've had a lethal side all year. Jerome Hughes, some great form. I was surprised that Hines and Munster, I personally think they've been robbed of some Dally M points. They have been outstanding. And then you talk about their bench. Now, one player I think is going to score a try. I'm going to say him this week and next week. For some reason, one of these weeks he's going to score. It's going to be this week or next week. Nelson Asafa Solomona is going to score a try for the Storm, either against the Panthers or against Manly in the grand final. Which one will it be? We'll just back him for both. But for this game, I'm going to go with Remus Smith for the first try scorer from the Storm at $15. And I think that Melbourne are looking good at the right time. They looked great against the Sea Eagles. They came into the final round kind of under strength, but still great against the Sharks. They have been up and down, but still winning games. And I think they'll book a grand final appearance against the Manly Sea Eagles, the 2007 and 2008 grand finalists, the Sea Eagles and the Storm. I think that this rivalry will reignite in the NRL Grand Final, and I think that they'll win big as well. I think that Melbourne will win quite convincingly here. I think Melbourne by 20. I'm going to go Melbourne to beat the Penrith Panthers 30 points to 10. The Panthers have had an outstanding season. I just don't know. Their defense has looked great, but I don't know if their defense can contain the lethal Melbourne Storm attack, especially off the bench. Penrith will become tired. It could be close for the most part in one of those games where Melbourne just get on top, drain you out. We haven't seen it in a while, but I think in a finals game, we're going to see it. So I'm going to go Melbourne to beat Penrith 30 points to 10. Interesting to talk about is that Brian To'o has been named on the reserves for the Penrith Panthers, so that could be a huge inclusion. And Nicho Hynes, he's been outstanding all year, but obviously Pappenhausen back in that fullback spot. Nicho Hynes still part of the side, obviously off to the Sharks. This could be his last Melbourne Storm game, which makes it really interesting, as well as Dale Finucane if the Penrith Panthers are to pull off an upset. But I don't think that will be the case. And I've tipped it for a while now. As you guys know, I'm going to tip the Manly Sea Eagle to play the Melbourne Storm in the grand final next week. First try scorers, Josh Schuster at $40 for the Sea Eagles, and Remus Smith on the other corner, $15 for the Melbourne Storm. Let me know your grand final tips. I'm running a little giveaway here for another Drom hat. Go and check out our sponsor, Drom Clothing Co. over on Instagram and drom.com.au. If you guys want to win a Drom hat, simply comment who's going to score the most points this weekend. If you think Josh Addo-Carr is going to score 2 tries, comment Josh Addo-Carr. If you think Ruben Garrick's goal kicking is going to get him over the line, comment Ruben Garrick, and you will get yourself a Drom hat. If there's multiple winners, I will randomize that for you, but Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am trying to plan something next week with a few other people for the grand final, so hopefully we can get that ahead. Obviously the Eels have been eliminated, so there will be some videos involving the Eels and maybe that game. We'll see how we go. Make sure you guys follow my TikTok, EntertainYT, enter the giveaway. There will be a 2021 Elite video coming very shortly and a huge break next Wednesday to celebrate the NRL Grand Final. I hope you guys enjoy these prelim and good luck to your team. Hopefully your team makes the grand final. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button and I'll see you guys later.